Hello friends, welcome to Insights ICANN initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about BRICS and new members joining into the BRICS. You know that the 15th summit of BRICS are going on, and in this summit, what are the main highlights and what are the India's concerns, why the BRICS is significant to India, and which countries added into the BRICS, and some other details we are going to discuss. So the topic of this video is about new members addition to the BRICS and highlights of the BRICS summit, that is the 15th edition. Now let us see the syllabus mapping of this video. So this video is related to Gender Studies Paper 2, that is International Relations, India and Neighborhood Relations, as well as the international organizations. So now let us see video components. What components we are going to discuss. In this video, we are going to check why it is in news and about BRICS, what is the reason behind the creation of BRICS, who coined the word BRICS. Tell me students, who coined the word BRICS? Okay. What was the name of that economist? And what about the BRICS expansion? Whether India is favorable to the BRICS expansion or not? If not, what are the India's concerns? And officially, there are 6 nations announced that they are going to be added to the BRICS and they are going to be joined with the BRICS from 1st of January 2024. What are those 6 nations? And why BRICS is very significant to India? And what are the challenges BRICS is facing now? And finally, we will examine the conclusion. Let us see the first. Which countries are adding into the BRICS? You know that students, BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Okay, these are the 5 nations, and here Brazil representing the South America, and South Africa representing the Africa, India, China representing the Asia, and Russia representing the Eurasia. These are the 5 nations which are developing and which represent the various continents. Now 6 more nations joined into the league. What are these 6 nations? They are Argentina, one more country from South America, and Egypt, Ethiopia. That means 2 nations. 2 nations, they are from Africa, and 3 nations from Middle East. So far the Middle East did not have representation in the BRICS. So the biggest chunk of the members coming from the Middle East, they are like Iran, Saudi Arabia, UAE. If you remember students, all these nations, especially Saudi Arabia and Iran, Saudi Arabia and UAE, they are pretty much close friends to USA as well as India. These are 2 nations. And Iran nowadays, it is getting close to China also. If you remember, recently China mediated the deal between the Iran and Saudi Arabia. Peace agreement it facilitated. So of course, somewhat Iran is traditionally friend to India. And of course, Iran is also got a membership in the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Iran got the membership. Tell me students, apart from this, in Shanghai Cooperation Organization, some new countries are also they wanted to join. Tell me students, which country its membership is pending in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization? Tell me. Okay, so these are the 6 nations. Once again, I'm repeating. From South America, Argentina; from Africa, Egypt and Ethiopia; and from Middle East, Iran, Saudi Arabia and UAE. So these are the 6 nations got admitted into the BRICS in the 15th BRICS Summit. The 15th BRICS Summit is going in South Africa, Johannesburg. Next, in terms of the BRICS significance, students, BRICS is representing around 42% of the world population and 30% of the land area across the world, and 26% of the world GDP and 20% of the export-import trade. So you can understand the significance of BRICS. Now, after addition of these 6 more countries, then BRICS role is going to be very big. And of course, now BRICS is aiming that BRICS wanted to represent the global south. Here you have to understand what is the global south. Let me show you the photo. The global south. Global south representing the underdeveloped and developing nations, even which were under the colonial rule. So this is about the global south, students. The entire South America, entire African continent, Middle East, and majority of the Asia, including the Indonesia and all these things, excluding the Australia and Pacific Islands. This is about the global south. And India is aspiring to lead the global south in various platforms. Recently, India advocated for the global south in G20, where India fought for the trade rights of the global south. So these are some of the developments. Now let's see why it is in news. It is in news because 6 new nations got admission into the BRICS, and they are going to have membership from 1st of January 2024. Here you have to remember students, the name of the BRICS is not going to be changed. Okay, the names still reflect those 5 nations. Initially, BRICS started as BRIC, later South Africa joined, then it renamed as BRICS. The 15th BRICS Summit, it is going on 22nd, 23rd, 24th. That means till today, the meeting is going on Johannesburg. The theme is BRICS and Africa, partnership for mutually accelerated growth, sustainable development, and inclusive multilateralism. So on these themes, BRICS country and how these BRICS nations are helping to Africa, are going to help to Africa. This is the theme of the 15th BRICS Summit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi joined in the BRICS meeting by visiting the South Africa. This was the first offline BRICS meeting after COVID. Okay, during the COVID time in 2020, 2021 and 2022, these summits held in virtual manner. And you must also know that students, BRICS, like these words, always these meetings held according to these things. Now the meeting is going on South Africa, next Brazil, Russia, India, like that the meetings will be held. Now 6 new members joined. Let's see how the meetings will be organized. Now listen students, here you have to understand one more thing, that is our Prime Minister after this BRICS meeting, he is going to visit some other countries such as Greece and Macedonia he is going to visit. And now one question to you students, in this meeting Russian President Vladimir Putin did not attend to this meeting. Tell me, what is the reason why the Russian President did not attend the meeting? Tell me. Next, BRICS. You know, when the BRICS was started in 2009, and BRICS headquarters Shanghai, and these are the countries participating in the BRICS. The BRICS originated as BRIC. This BRIC word was coined by British economist Jim O'Neill in 2001. And the chairmanship always rotated among the countries. Now the South Africa is the chair for the BRICS for 2023. It is on the rotational basis. I already explained the significance of BRICS across the globe in terms of their population, in terms of their GDP and land mass, and in terms of their exports and imports. I explained this one. And by 2028, BRICS is going to be expected, it is going to make up around 35% of the global economy. Of course, after addition of these 6 nations, let's see the BRICS role is going to be increased across the globe. Next, some of the initiatives of the BRICS. They established one financial institution that is known as New Development Bank, as well as they also came up with certain initiatives such as contingent reserve arrangement, BRICS payment system, customs agreement, remote sensing satellites, and these are some of the some of the initiative taken up by the BRICS. Okay, here you have to understand these are the initiative. You know students, BRICS nations, they are also thinking of coming up with a currency. They want to overcome the dependence on dollar. They want to come up with a common currency for BRICS, but that is not discussed in this meeting. Might be in the next future meetings they are going to discuss about the common currency among the BRICS countries, so that they can bypass the depending on the dollar. Even government of India is also doing the same thing. It is pushing the internationalization of rupee, that, especially by going for the rupee ruble agreement and rupee dirham agreement, that kind of agreements in news we are seeing. Okay, the new currency is on line. We discussed that. Summit, BRICS. The BRICS first meeting was in 2009, and India held recent meeting in India, that was in when that was 2021 virtual meeting. Previously in India, BRICS meeting was held in the year 2012 and 2016. 2016 in 2021 it was held in a virtual manner. At that time, the theme of the BRICS, 15 years of BRICS, intra-BRICS cooperation for continuity, consolidation and consensus. This was the theme of the BRICS which held in India. Next, timeline. We'll see the BRICS, how the BRICS was evolved. In 2001, British economist Jim O'Neill, he coined the term BRIC. In 2006, there was an informal meeting was happened between the India, China and Russia in the G8 summit. At that time, G8 used to be there. Russia expelled out of the G8 in the Crimea War in 2014. Now it is G7. In 2009, the first BRICS summit was held in Russia. 2010, South Africa, and in 2015, all the BRICS countries together, they decided to come up with a bank that is known as National Development Bank, NDB. Such kind of financial institutions are there. For example, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank and Asian Development Bank. So these are some of the banks specific to particular region. These financial institutions established to reduce the dependence on World Bank, that you have to understand. Reason behind the creation of BRICS. First thing is the lack of representation from Global South. Global South don't have any common platform to discuss about certain issues, contemporary issues, and they don't have any platform to discuss about challenges facing by the countries in Global South. So for these reasons, to discuss all these things, they required one common platform. For that, they created this BRICS, and to counter the influence of USA as well as the Western nations, and to enhance the cooperation. Now the BRICS influence is going to be increased further after joining with these 6 nations. 15th BRICS Summit. The main agenda of the 15th BRICS Summit is going to be the expansion of BRICS. I already told you, around 40 countries, they shown interest to join with the BRICS. Out of that, 6 countries membership been accepted in the BRICS. And they thought of discussing regarding the common currency, but they did not discuss in this BRICS Summit. Next, significance. The significance is, this is the first offline meeting after the COVID. And one of the BRICS country, Russia, is involving in the war, Russia-Ukraine war. So the Russian President Vladimir Putin is facing the war crimes by the ICC, International Criminal Court, so he was unable to attend. And of course, China is under the economic pressure. So in this context, this BRICS meeting assumed very significance. And they also, they are going to discuss about the global stability, because due to this Russia-Ukraine war, there was much instability regarding the food prices, fertilizer, energy, and all these things. To achieve the stability in this, they wanted to discuss how this stability can be achieved. 15th BRICS Summit, and significant for India. Why it is significant for India? Because this was the first BRICS Summit in person, offline BRICS Summit, after we had a standoff, Galvan Valley clash with China. After that, it is going to be the first one, and we are going to resolve so many issues with, like China. And one more thing is, India is also going to discuss certain issues such as Russia-Ukraine war, and regarding the climate change, as well as the debt financing. Regarding these issues, India wanted to, bring these issues onto the BRICS platform. Next, what are the criteria to join with the BRICS? These 6 nations joined. Initially, India objected the expansion of the BRICS, because India under the impression that this BRICS expansion is going to favor the China. China is inviting his friendly countries, so that China wanted to increase its influence in BRICS. So that is the reason India came up with certain conditions. Of course, now we are a little bit relaxed on these conditions, but what are the conditions India proposed to join with the BRICS? Any country, if they are interested to join with the BRICS, these conditions we have to check. First, the size of the economy. At least they should have the 400 billions of GDP. Trade volume, it must be at least $50 billion. And emerging economy, whichever the country they wanted to join with BRICS, it must be an emerging economy. That means in terms of the industrialization, in terms of the growth, inclusive growth, and all these things. And the country should have the political stability, because if we added the politically unstable country, of course that country is going to drag down the rest of the BRICS members. So political stability, whichever the country, and whichever the country is having good relation with the BRICS countries. And finally, there must be a consensus must be arrived among the BRICS countries. Then only the new members should join. So these are the proposals put forward by India. But of course, in recent times, China and Brazil, they wanted some other countries to join in the BRICS. So India, so we couldn't do anything much. That is the reason we a little bit relaxed on this kind of conditions. So we also forced to accept the expansion of the BRICS. That resulted to the addition of 6 members into the BRICS. How is China influencing the BRICS? By adding its friendly nations through diplomatic strategy, and it is influencing much in BRICS by increasing its presence, and finally it is using BRICS platform to counter the Western dominance. What is the rationale behind the expansion? Why BRICS has to be expanded? There are some arguments that BRICS has to be expanded as well. Why? Initially, when BRICS started, at that time the influence of these BRICS countries was much more higher. But now, the influence of the BRICS countries in terms of their economy is not that much significant. That means we have to add some new member countries so that the BRICS influence can be increased. Next, global challenges. Russia is marginalized due to Russia-Ukraine war, and China is experiencing the too much of the economic pressure, and it is going against the Western countries. So now the major economies in BRICS, such as Russia, China, they are experiencing the pressure. Now it is a high time that BRICS has to be expanded so that new countries can come and it will further stabilize the BRICS platform. Expansion challenges. There must be a common understanding between the new members and old members, and the purpose of the BRICS should not be diluted, and the expansion should not give away one country dominance. These are the challenges we have to overcome. Importance of BRICS for India in terms of geopolitics. In Indian Ocean, to counter the China, of course, we require the BRICS country support. Rest of the BRICS country supports to maintain the global order, to fight against terrorism, and to express the concerns of the global South nations. So for all these reasons, BRICS is very crucial for India. Challenges facing by the BRICS in terms of economic divergence. The member countries in BRICS, they have too much of the economic divergence. So achieving consensus among these countries is a very difficult challenge. Political differences and coordination difficulties, especially in the expansion of BRICS. And finally, some of the external pressures. These are some of the challenges. What is the way forward? The way forward is when you are going for the reforms in these kind of multi-institutions, organizations, it has to be according to the mutual consensus, and we have to reaffirm the fight of the BRICS against terrorism, because sometimes we are seeing that China is more lenient on Pakistan in terms of countering the terrorism. So it should not be there regarding these things. And people to people cooperation also has to be improved in the BRICS nations. These are the way forwards. Then yesterday's PYQ question, yesterday MCQ question. Consider the following statement regarding the Chandrayaan 3. Which statement is right? It consists of only rover and lander. It don't have any orbiter, right? Chandrayaan 3, so developed in collaboration with the Japanese Space Agency. No, it is wrong only. Statement 1 is right. Next, we'll see. So today's video question. Consider the following statements. New Development Bank has been set up by EPIC. The headquarters of the New Development Bank is in Shanghai. Tell me which statement is right. Mains question. Critically examine the aims and objectives of BRICS. What importance does it hold for India? Why BRICS is important to India? This is a mains question. As we reach to the end of this video, let us revise quickly. Students. So why this BRICS is important to India? In this video, we discussed about why BRICS is important to India and the BRICS expansion, which new countries added into the BRICS, and what is the criteria and how that criteria have been relaxed, and how BRICS evolved over the period of time, what are the challenges facing by the BRICS, and what is the challenges to India in terms of the BRICS. These are the things we discussed in this video, and this is a detailed analysis regarding the BRICS expansion.